Welcome to Chills with Chas. We'll continue the Haunted Heartland series with Elvira and the Ghosts of Egypt. The Opera House has been a landmark for nearly a century, towering above a quintessentially Midwestern town square and the lovely old northern Illinois community of Woodstock. Victorian houses stretch outward from the square, which is dwarfed by the four-story theater crowned by a story-and-a-half belfry, still used by the community for theatrical presentations. The Woodstock Opera House has hosted some of the brightest names in modern American stage history: Geraldine Page, Paul Newman, Betsy Palmer, Shelley Berman, and Tom Bosley. The Opera House is also the host to the ghost of a tragic young actress. Her desire to appear on the theater stage around the turn of the century was thwarted when she wasn't cast in a role she coveted. The actress ran from the stage, climbed the winding staircase to the belfry, and threw herself from a tower portal to the sidewalk 6 stories below. The actress's ghost, known as Elvira to those at the theater, has a particular effect on young women who seek roles in opera house productions. More than one actress had an uncomfortable desire to climb those same belfry tower steps. At the very top of the same landing from which Elvira committed suicide, the women move hypnotically toward the window ledge, seemingly mesmerized by the view from the height. In each instance, the women had been pulled back from the precipice by someone who noticed their particular errand. Elvira herself had been seen on several occasions. A member of the Opera House's board of directors told his friends the beautiful ghost had golden hair cascading to below her slim waist. A flimsy dancing gown enveloped her. Despite her particular effect on young actresses, Elvira seems to be more prankish than foul. Props move mysteriously or change location for no explainable reason. Scenery flaps have been known to fall, even though they are securely tied down. Seat 113 is Elvira's favorite vantage point in an auditorium. On several occasions, actors and stagehands have noticed that particular chair in a down position, even though it is spring-loaded and should rest upright when not in use. Later examinations of the seat have found nothing wrong with it. A muffled line or forgotten cue will also bring a low, deep sigh from Elvira's seat. One of the most unnerving experiences in the Opera House is reported to have occurred in the 1940s when young Shelley Berman, the popular comedian, was acting there in summer stock. It was late at night, and Berman was working on some scenery when a sound from the darkened auditorium caught his attention. He turned to see several seats, including 113, in the down position, as if a number of people had entered the theater and sat down. Berman jumped from the stage and rushed to the seats, but by the time he arrived, they'd returned to their correct upward position. The Opera House's productions usually played to standing room only audiences, seemingly Elvira the ghost hasn't harmed attendants, possibly because her appearances are infrequent, and to most people's knowledge, she hasn't actually harmed anyone. If anything, playgoers may be intrigued at the prospect of witnessing a performance not on the scheduled programs by an actress dead for 8 decades. Okay, and then we'll do the beginning of the ghosts of Egypt. The table flat prairie of central Illinois gradually rises to the south into the hills and hollows of the land known as Little Egypt. The legends of how the region received its uniquely romantic nickname vary, but it possibly started when a businessman gave the name Cairo to Illinois' southernmost city. The man said the area reminded him of old Egypt. Xenia and a Karnak are located nearby. Egypt is roughly triangular in shape, stretching across the lower midsection of Illinois from East St. Louis to Lawrenceville and southward to Cairo at the confluence of the Ohio and Mississippi River. The rocky clay soil is inhabitable to agriculture. Until recently, the economy was largely developed upon the dozens of coal mines stretched across the region. Tourism, however, has now become the primary industry, centering around the 250,000-acre Shawnee National Forest, beautiful 43,000-acre Crab Orchard National Wildlife Refuge, home of wintering Canadian geese, and Crab Orchard Lake, known worldwide for its fine bass fishing. The people of Egypt are also rich in folklore. In fact, Egyptians are known as some of the finest believers in ghostly superstitions of any regional group in the world. Folklorist Richard M. Dawson has written that the ghost tales carry such conviction in southern Illinois towns, what is widely known and accepted by the neighborhood, that it becomes local legend. The sections which follow reveal the antics of some of Egypt's most famous spirits and haunts. We'll continue those stories in the next video. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.